Good morning, everyone. It's Brenda Quintana here, and it's Casing Tuesday. And that's the day when we take a card out of the catalog, one of the Stampin' Up! Catalogs, and we give it a makeover. And if you're completely new to me and Casing Tuesday, please check out the link below. We have a Facebook group where a bunch of us share our cards for Casing Tuesday. So it's not just me copying and sharing cards, it's a bunch of my friends. Plus, it's all of you. You can get involved and copy a card too. And what I love about Casing Tuesday is that it allows you to have a starting point. Often I'm creating a card and I kind of know what stamps that I want to use, but I don't really have a blueprint for what all the layers of the card are going to look like. So it's really nice to be able to scroll through the catalog and take a different card and use it as the template or the starting point for your card. So it's such a great exercise, and I love that the people that do this with me, that case every week, the ones that are part of our group, our blogging group, they pick the cards along with me. So it's not always my card choice. So it's someone else's card choice too. So that kind of forces me to maybe create a card that I wouldn't normally create. And it really helps my stamping get better all the time, because it's important in life to keep learning, right? You can't just stay at the same level all the time. No matter what you do, it's great for your brain to keep learning new things. So I love this group, and I hope you'll join in or at least check it out. Leave us a comment if you don't want to post your own card. You can always encourage us and say, "Hey, great card, thumbs up," and that always makes our day when you can do that. Good morning, Janine. I'm glad you popped on this morning, and I see a few more of you are on here. Leave me a comment if you want to, and I will get back to them at the end of the video. And just a little heads up for you who follow me regularly, I am going up to Canada next Tuesday, and so I won't be doing a live video for the next few weeks, but I'm going to be posting recorded videos of my cards. So watch out for them coming up on the following Tuesdays. I will still have a live video this Friday, and I'll also be recording some Friday videos for you as well while I'm up in Canada visiting my mom. It's been almost 2.5 years since I've seen her. And so it's just going to be really awesome to be able to see her and spend time with her. So I want to be focused on that. Also, I have none of my supplies up there, so I can't really do a card. It just would be impossible or near impossible for me to do my cards live from Canada. But it's I just can't wait. I can't wait to see my mom and give her a big hug, and I'll also be able to see my sister too. I'm just very excited, and yes. So next Tuesday I will be here, but not here, right? All right, let me show you the card that we're casing today. And I'm sorry this is such a bad image of the card. Normally we have access to the catalog images, but for some reason Stampin' Up! Didn't give this image out of the catalog its own image that I could grab, so I actually screenshotted it out of the catalog online, so that's why it looks kind of blurry. But if you look at the sketch here, you'll see it's really an awesome layout. I really love this layout. And when I was playing around yesterday trying to figure out what I was doing, my card ended up being a monochromatic card. So here are the measurements for you if you need kind of a blueprint for you to get started. My measurements are tweaked slightly for what I wanted to do, but this is a really good starting point. So if your image is slightly larger or smaller, you can tweak the layers a little bit, and cut them to appropriate size. But if you take computer paper and cut all of those pieces and put the layers down, you can start to plug and play. Look at your stamp sets that fit and start plugging them into those layers. All right, I am going to pop over to my other camera, make sure it's on. Yes, it is. All right, and I'll get started. And I will definitely be back at the end and read all of your comments. So we'll do that at the end because I'm terrible at multitasking. Oh, and that die set that was on the screen there momentarily, that was actually, it's a die set that I'm going to be using on a future card, a future Casing Tuesday. I was working on all my cards for the month yesterday, so I have like 4 cards on the go, and it was kind of crazy. So here are the cards, and I made one in Mango Melody and one in Gorgeous Grape, and I just love these cards. They're so bright and cheery. Can you imagine making a beautiful card set with these cards? So I left in my supply list, which you can click over to my blog and you can see all the supplies I used. I left both the Brights cardstock pack, which has 2 sheets of each of the Brights colors. So you could, just buy a multi-pack rather than buying individual colors. Or if you like an individual color, you can choose whatever color you want to create these cards in. And just buy a corresponding ink pad, because this is Mango Melody cardstock and Mango Melody ink, Gorgeous Grape and Gorgeous Grape. And I'm going to be doing a different color for my card today. So we'll see one more color, and then we'll get to choose at the end which color we like best. I always like to do that. So yeah, so you can just choose a full cardstock pack or an assortment, and you can get a lot of go out of that. All right, let me talk about the stamp set. Now, the Delicate Dahlia stamp set cannot be purchased. It can only be earned out of the catalog. It is free with a $100 order, or if for you during Sale-a-bration, for every $50 or $100 you spend, you can earn a free product. And this is one of the free with $100 purchases. I love this stamp set, and even for beginners, it is awesome because I'll show you in a minute. When you stamp this Dahlia right here, not even the outline, just the Dahlia, it's just gorgeous, really quick ink on there, and it looks like you spent a lot of time creating that beautiful stamped image, but it's just easy peasy, really easy. And it's just a really pretty floral set. Okay. So that's enough about that. And I just got my Treasure Tags Pick-a-Punch. It just came in an order that I placed, and it arrived yesterday. So this is my first time using it. And I don't know why I didn't get it before. We do have some other Pick-a-Punches, but I really love the ends on these ones. And they have slots for 1/2 inch, 3/4 of an inch, and 1 inch. I'm going to be using the 1/2 inch slot today. So just this is a really great punch for creating little labels and putting your little greetings on, and I'm sure there's tons of other uses, but that's what I'm going to be using it today for, a little tiny greeting. All right, let's get started. I'm going to pull out my big Dahlia, and it's on a D block. It hangs over just a little bit, but I felt a little bit more comfortable having it on a D block versus, oops, I'm going to show you the next size block up is an E block, and I thought it's just going to float on there, so I tried it on a D block and it worked fine, just in case you're wondering if you can use that. I'm going to need a little scrap piece of paper because I'm actually going to be stamping off of the edges here. This piece right here, whoops, grabbing the wrong piece. We need a smaller piece to start off with because we're going to create this layer right here, okay? And so this layer measures, I've got 2 pieces here. This layer measures 4 1/4 inches by 2 3/4 inches. So we'll just add that onto our scrap piece of paper, and I'm gonna bring in my Flirty Flamingo ink pad and just ink this up. All right, and I'm going to stamp this down in the bottom corner. Give it a good press down. Look at how gorgeous that is. So pretty. Okay, I'm going to move this cardstock so I can fit my next stamp on here. And actually, you know what I think it will be easier to do is to do the diagonals first. So stamp on this one and then come in here and stamp this one. This one's probably the biggest bloom that's going to fit on the card, but I like to do the corner one first because I don't want this to look like I stuck a flower right in the center of the cardstock. I don't like that look. I like it when it kind of looks a little skewed. All right, and then I just really want to fill this whole layer with flowers. So I'm just going to come in on the top here, and the petals will overlap just a wee bit. Okay. Right, so I'm just filling it in, and then might be one or two more. Let me see where we're going here. Right, maybe here. Yeah, we're gonna need one more. I don't want any, I want the flowers to go right to the edges. Yeah, that looks pretty good. You could even do a little one up there, but I think I've given it good enough coverage. So that's what that layer looks like. So pretty, right? And then we're going to take a slightly bigger layer, and this layer measures 4 3/4 inches by 3.5 inches. And I'll just take some Tombow. And you can see in just a second, okay, my Tombow's going slowly. So I want this bloom, big bloom up here at the top. So I'm going to center this top to bottom and side to side. There's a little bit more white space at the top and bottom than there is going side to side. And that was kind of coming out of the original layers of the card. It wasn't a perfect framing all the way around. And I kind of like that look. Even though probably if I had designed the original card, I wouldn't have been able to do that. I would have wanted like a symmetrical layer all around. But look at this now. You can barely see the edge of the card, but it looks like it's kind of framed on the inside. You can barely tell that there's an extra layer. So I really like how that part came out. So you'll want to mount this onto the same color. So I use Flirty Flamingo ink. So now you're going to use a Flirty Flamingo cardstock. So I started with a half sheet of cardstock. So that measures 8.5 by 5.5 and scored in half at the 4 1/4 inch mark. And then I just folded it. I always use my bone folder to smooth it down. And then I'm going to add this to the corner right here. And I don't want it symmetrical. You could do it symmetrical, but I want to follow the original theme of the card, which had the layer down here in the corner a bit. So I'm just going to add a little Tombow to this layer. And we're just building up the card. And right now, I have to say, I like the card even right now as I'm building it. It looks great just like this. You know, and as you add the other layers to it, you bring even more to the card as you go along. All right, next thing I want to do, you know what? Okay. I was going to say, I thought I left a layer for me to cut and stamp, and I did label this so I didn't mistake this layer for another layer. There's a smaller bloom in this Dahlia set, so I'm going to stamp this twice. And there is no die set for this, but it's a small image, so I'm going to cut it out. And this is, we like to call this fussy cutting. If you're new to paper crafting, this is called fussy cutting. And you try and it's easier to move the paper than to move your scissors. So I try to just move the paper around. Sometimes I have to cut a little bit, but I'm leaving just a little bit of white around the bloom. That's a personal preference. You could just cut right to the edge, but I think when you cut just a little bit of a white edge, it gives it just a little bit of framing and it makes it look kind of cool. I don't do that for all my images, but all right, So there's the first flower, and that one will be up top here. And you can see this is awesome because this design works in whatever color you want. You don't have to choose my colors. You might not like pink, purple, and orange. You might like blues or reds or yellows. So you just choose whatever color you want. This is the nice thing of this type of monochromatic card, is that it's, you know, you can just apply it to all the other colors. And there's, I don't know, we have a lot of colors in Stampin' Up, so you have a lot of colors to choose from. You don't have to be, you don't have to follow my lead. And then, you know, if you do this, like say you did this with the brights, with all the brights, you got that multi-pack. That's 10 different colors that you can make these cards in, and then you can make them into a little card pack, and you can give them as gifts. All right, so I have those flowers. I'm just gonna leave those there for a second, and I'm gonna attach those with a dimensional in a moment. And then I'm going to take a little piece of cardstock. This one measures 3 inches by 1/2 inch. And I'll take my Treasure Tags Pick a Punch. I'm gonna slide this in all the way as far as it can reach, okay? And then I'm gonna give it a punch, slide it back out. And now it has that nice little round edge. We used to have a punch called the Word Window Punch. If you love that punch, this allows you to do a slightly larger width. And if you punch both ends, then you could kind of get a really large layer that was kind of like that old punch we used to have. So this is not as fancy because it's not as wide, but I like this look, and actually it goes back to the original card. So I like this greeting, "You inspire me." It's a, you know, a good generic greeting to put on a card. And I'll stamp it maybe about 1/2 inch from that rounded end. And just add it with the same color ink. Yes. It's not boring, it's just really easy. Okay, let's get all of our stamps out of the way and close up that ink pad, because I am now finished with my ink. So now we just need to add all of the pieces on here. So I've got my little glue in a jar upside down, and I'll just add a little bit of Tombow on here. If you haven't already stored your glue upside down like so many people do, it's just so much easier. The glue is ready at the bottom, and basically I just leave it like that. I never cap it anymore. Maybe I'll cap it when I go away, but because I use this almost every day or every second day, it's always primed and ready for me. All right, let me grab some dimensionals, and I am going to, I want to make these flowers identical because, so I'm just rotating them just like I have here. So I'm just going to kind of layer these here, and the little dimensionals make them pop off the card just a little bit, and that kind of makes it a little special. Let me rotate this one like this, and that one's going to kind of come in here, maybe about like that. All right, and then last thing, I think, oh no, not quite the last thing, second last thing, we're going to take, these are Opal Rounds, and they're really pretty. I don't know if you can see them. You all know what an opal is, right? Well, these look like little tiny opals, and they're just wonderful for adding to cards, because they're not attention stealers. They're just, they add to the card without overwhelming it. I always love that. I think I want some of the largest ones, so these ones are kind of medium ones I had left over. So I'm just gonna grab a couple of the largest ones and pop them right in the flower centers. And I didn't have to put them in the flower centers, but I just did. Sometimes I just sprinkle them on the card. So you can see They've got a little bit of shine. They just anchor those flowers nicely, make them a little prettier. And then the last thing I want to do is I'm going to add a little baker's twine bow. This is from the Essentials, what is this called? Essentials Twine, Baker's Twine Essentials Pack. And you've got a whole bunch of neutral colors. And it's just nice to have this pack because then you'll have a bunch of neutral colors to tie little bows with, or, you know, just tiny little accents for your card. So I like to use Tombow to attach Baker's Twine bows because it actually sticks quite well. I like it better than even a mini glue dot. So I'll just put a little dot, let me see. Can you see that little tiny dot? That's all I put on there. And then I position my knot over top of that. And then I will hold this down for a few seconds because I want those fibers to grab and mesh with the card fibers, the paper fibers, and this bow loop is fighting me. It just wants to twist. I wonder if I might need to play with this a little bit with the, twist this a little ways. I won't do this on camera, but sometimes, oh, now I've loosened that. I'll play with it afterwards, but I just want to untwist this one loop. It just got a little bit, it's being a rebel. Bad bow. I'm just kidding. We don't use that word here. I'm just kidding. It's twisting just like this one a little bit, so I'll fix those in a moment. This one, the mango one, was really behaving nicely and it didn't get twisted, and I really like the look of that. But sometimes your bows get a little twisted and it's okay, right? So there are the cards. We've got Gorgeous Grape, Flirty Flamingo, and Mango Melody. Which one's your favorite? I'll tell you which one is my favorite in a moment, but I'll have to decide because now that we've added Flirty Flamingo into the mix, it just looks different than just having the Gorgeous Grape and Mango Melody card. I like it when you make a card set with different colors and they're the same card because it makes all the colors look really beautiful together, and the cards really aren't hard to make, right? That was not a hard card to make, but it actually maybe looks a little hard. Like if someone just saw this card and they didn't know about stamping at all, right? They would think you spent a lot of time on this card because of the beautiful stamps. The stamped images just really go far, right? All right, I'm coming back over to you guys. All right, let's see. Oh, I'm gonna read who's favorite. Okay, Karen says they are all beautiful. Linda says her favorite is Gorgeous Grape. Kimberly Ann likes Gorgeous Grape. Karen says a toss-up between Flirty Flamingo and Gorgeous Grape. And Cindy, I think you mean the Flirty Flamingo. But the interesting thing, and I've noticed this about, have you ever gone into the store and there's a bunch of dresses or a bunch of shirts and they're all different colors, right? And, there's one color that usually doesn't sell very well, right? And that would be, maybe that would be, in this case, the Mango Melody one. Although I just saw Erica. Good morning, Erica. Erica's on my team. I'm so glad you're here this morning. You're up really early, too. Wow. Anyway, there's always one color that maybe doesn't get picked first, but I think that color balances out the other colors and helps them sell as a group. It's just a theory that I have playing around in my head back in the days when I used to be out in the stores more, and I'd be buying stuff at Target, and you would see like a rack of shirts, and there's always one color that doesn't sell as well, but I'm willing to bet that color helps all the other colors sell because of the contrast, right? So when you're making a card set like that, it's good to have contrasting colors. Like I know Gorgeous Grape and Mango Melody. They're on the opposite ends of the color wheel, so they really pop each other. And so let me just, if you take away the Mango Melody, the other cards don't look as good. It's a weird thing, but I think it's true. Okay, let me go back and read some of your comments. And good morning, Nancy from Rainy, Georgia. Oh, you must be getting the outer bands of that Hurricane Ida that came through. I'm sorry about that. But, we will be getting that on Thursday. I think Wednesday afternoon, Thursday, we are going to have the remnants of Ida too, and I think it's going to dump a lot of rain here in the Boston area. So Ida's pain gets spread around everywhere, and I hope everyone that's down closer to the coast is okay. Good morning, Teresa. Early on the West Coast. Thank you for getting up early. I'm heading to not quite the coast, but I'll be on Pacific Standard Time next week. I'll be there 3 hours earlier in my day. So just it was going to take me 2 weeks to get used to that, and then I'll be leaving. So good morning, Dee from Missouri. Deborah asked me, did I get new glasses? No, I actually need to get new glasses because the reflective anti-glare on this has been gone for a long time. It's on my to-do list, my lengthy to-do list, because I put off like many of you, I put off many of my healthcare appointments this year or last year. And not that there was anything pressing, but the regular ones, like, getting your eyes checked. And guess what I'm doing tomorrow, guys? I am going in for a colonoscopy. I am a little bit over 50, and so it's time to get the colonoscopy, and it's just a great preventative thing. And so today, the thing that I am on today, I'm on an all liquid diet. So it's actually good that I'm doing this in the morning, because I think by the evening I'll be pretty cranky from being on all liquids all day. And tonight I get to take that fun stuff that I'm sure some of you have done before. It's my first time. And that will be just so much fun. But today I'll be probably a little cranky by the end of the day, just not being able to eat. But you know what? It's good. I've never done a fast before, so maybe this is like my intro into giving my body a break by fasting. So be an interesting experience. I'm happy I was able to have my green tea this morning, so that made me happy. At least I have a little caffeine in me, and so I'm not a total bear. All right, moving along. You probably didn't want to know that, but so my eyes, I've kind of left that to the last minute, and that is on my to-do list. Once I get the other things checked off, oh my gosh, I have a dental implant that has been halfway done for I don't know, it's been I think 2 years it will be. And we were supposed to do it this summer, and they tried to put it in, and I ended up with this bad, well, I'm not sure bad infection, but it was an infection. So now that was delayed until October because I didn't have enough time for my trip. It's just like one thing after another. I'm sure you guys are experiencing it too, trying to get caught up with those medical appointments that you missed. If things weren't urgent, kind of just the regular ones, it's hard to get them all caught up. And then you run into a little roadblock and everything kind of whatever. But I hope you like my glasses, because I'm probably going to get some very similar ones, because I don't like to have frames around my eyes, because I tend to trip over things then. I like to have as clear a vision as I can without doing LASIK surgery or contacts. All right, I'm blabbing now, aren't I? Okay. That was a long answer to your question, Deborah. Good morning, Karen from New Jersey. Ooh, I wonder if you have some of that humidity from Ida pushing up into your area. Dee says the Dahlia stamps are quickly becoming one of her favorites. I agree. They're just really pretty. I know There's a lot of florals out there, but this one's a really nice one. Good morning, Amy from Washington. It's good to see some of my team members up this morning. And on Pacific Standard Time, too. That's dedication to wake up and watch me that early. All right, now I'm reading all your favorite colors. Okay. All right. Oh, Erica's at work this morning. Oh my goodness. Yeah, these would be great cards to sell as a little card set. I love that idea. Dee said the prep part of the colonoscopy is the hardest part. The actual procedure is a snap. Yeah, and you know what? I'm kind of looking at it like with a positive attitude, because I'm so lucky that I can do this as a preventative, because it could save my life if there was something wrong, right? And it's just a good thing to do when you turn 50, right? All right, guys. Well, I'm so glad you stuck with me this long. If you need supplies for any of the cards that I talk, or for the card that I talked about today, just click on over to my blog. There is a supply list, and I appreciate it when you order from me. I reward you when you order from me. If you spend at least $15, you'll get a tutorial for free. And if you spend at least $50 with me this month, where are my stars? They are over here somewhere. I've been chomping away at them. You will get a full pack, not like a partial pack like is shown here. But these are the Cute Stars adhesive back sequins, and those are what I'm going to be sending out in September very shortly. I've already made my thank you cards. I have to get on with it because I only have a week left before I leave, and I have a lot of things to do, so that you guys can see cards and 3D products even while I'm gone. And I will have a new host code gift up on my blog tomorrow. So this right here, let me go. This is my host code gift of the month, the stars. And you just use this host code when you're ordering from me and spend at least $50 with me. And then you'll get those cute stars, and I'll be sending them out sometime over the next few days. I have to get them all ordered, and I'm going to expedite them so I can get them out the door before I leave. And then starting tomorrow, I'll have a new host code, and that host code gift ships out in October. So I always have one going each month. And then also, if you spend $50 or $100 with Stampin' Up! Right now, they are rewarding you with a free a celebration reward. And one of those rewards, if you spend $100, was the Delicate Dahlias that I featured today. So that could be one of your choices, or we've got a lot of other choices at the $50 mark. If you don't want to spend $100, there's a lot of other things that you could choose. So it is a great deal right now. We've got that new holiday catalog, and you get rewarded by Stampin' Up! And by me. So it's a great time to place an order now. Like if you're wanting to make Christmas items, it's good to get them now, because you can get a much better deal before September 30th than you can afterwards. All right, I have one more question. Will you be doing Casing Tuesday at the same time next Tuesday from Canada? So I mentioned thanks, a really good question, Dee. I'm actually going to pre-record the videos, so I'll probably schedule them to go live on my blog sometime probably around 8 o'clock in the morning, Eastern Standard Time. And so you can even watch them earlier if you want to than you're normally doing. But I won't be doing a live. It's too hard because I'd have to bring up too much stuff. And so I can't really do lives from away. So I'm going to pre-record the videos for the next 3 weeks. Can you believe it? My next live video won't be until, let me see. My next live video will be a Friday video. Well, okay, this Friday I'll have a live one, but then my next one after that won't be till September 24th. And then I'll start back with the Tuesday lives on September 28th, because I'm traveling on Tuesday, so that's kind of unfortunate, but that was the cheapest day to travel. So guess what? I decided to travel on those days. And so, yeah, but I'll have recorded videos for you all. So you won't miss me too much. So hopefully that will tide you over, and I won't get to talk to you, but you'll probably have a lot to tell me by the time the end of September rolls around. All right, guys, I will see you on Friday. I will have a live for you this Friday. I already know what I'm doing. It's going to be a card, a fun card that I'll be doing for this Friday. All right, guys, you have a great week, and I hope to see you on Friday. Take care. Bye-bye.